Duzalpa. Today is the 10th Nepalbhasa class and our topic is relationships. So, in terms of relationships, Nepalbhasa has so many different words, words used for um, addressing relations. Unlike in English, where there are quite a limited number of words for relationships, maybe within 10, but in Nepalbhasa, we will let you know about some uh, 50 different relationships that can be termed with using these Nepal Bhasha words. And these words for relationships in Nepal Bhasha are quite important to learn because these are genuinely like Nepal Bhasha words which you'd know that there are various dialects of Nepal Bhasha, of course, and the standard, as assumed, as considered by the academics and the literary circle, is of course the Nepal Bhasha that is spoken and read and written in Kathmandu Valley, which is taken as standard. But if you travel outside Kathmandu Valley, in remote areas of Nepal, where the Newars have traveled and settled for various reasons, including business and others. They have taken their culture and also the language, and you will see that in these areas outside Kathmandu, um, the Newar communities have preserved the genuine Nepal Bhasa words for relationships, and that's why it's important to learn relationships in that light. Uh, like for example, in Kathmandu, the grandparents are called Bajia and Baje, but the genuine Nepal Bhasa terms Aza and Azi are still being used extensively in areas in regions outside Kathmandu when they speak in Nepal Bhasha. So this is just one example, and we would look at many other examples how the Nepal Bhasha terms are quite preserved in regions, areas outside Kathmandu, and the relationship terms are you know bring that aspect to light. So let's start with the words used in Nepal Bhasha for different relationships. Firstly, let's start with, let's say, great grandfather. Okay, so great grandfather in Nepal Bhasha will be Tapa Baja. Baja is grandfather. Grandfather in Nepal Bhasha, grandfather is called Aza. Is a genuine word, Aza. Aza actually, it is mentioned in our old scriptures of Nepal Bhasha, and Aza has the meaning of Brahma, the creator in Hindu religion. So Aza is the word for grandfather, and Bajja is also relatively newer, perhaps, is another word in Nepal Bhasha for grandfather. Then Aji. Aji is the term for grandmother, and also in Kathmandu, in more recent times, Baje is also used for as a replacement for Aji and to mean grandmother. So if you remember, like in Kathmandu, still, although many people say Baje, we still have Ajima, right? Various Ajimas in Kathmandu Valley are quite core to our heritage. Aji means grandmother in proper Nepal Bhasha language, and it actually Aji, the proper meaning of Aji is actually the female goddess figure. So we still in Kathmandu we still say Ajima, which is referring to goddesses within our culture. So Aji for grandmother, and the meaning is the goddess. Now the great grandfather will be called Tapa Baja, because Baja is grandfather, but Tapa Baja, Tapa is distant. In Nepal Bhasa, Tapa is distant, right? So a distant Baja, like father of the grandfather, creates that distance, right? So the generation, addition of the generation creates that distance, and we call Tapa Baja, a great grandfather. Now, the great grandmother would obviously be called Tapa Aji or Tapa Baje. Right. So after grandfathers and grandmothers, great grandfathers and grandmothers, it's time for father. Father in proper Nepal Bhasha is Abu. Right. In most of the Kathmandu communities, we in recent times we called Ba for father. But if you take various other regions like maybe Kopa, Bhaktapur, or outside Kathmandu, they still retain this Nepal Bhasha term, which is Abu for father. And for mother, it is Ma. In Nepal Bhasha, Ma with a nasal sound at the end. Ma means mother. It's like historically, the ancient form of this word is Mang or Mam, as written in our inscriptions, in our scriptures. Mam is mother. These days we shorten it to Ma or Mang. No, right? If you travel to areas like areas to the west, like maybe Bandipur, and even where my wife is from, Damoli, they called Mang for mother. So this means they have retained the ancient form of Nepal Bhasha term for mother, which is not Ma but Mang. And if you also remember, even in Kathmandu, till these days, until the previous generation, we didn't have Jozolpa which is a relatively newly created word. But to greet each other, we would say Tare Mam. Tare Mang is actually Tare Mang. Tara is the goddess within Newa culture, Newa Buddhist culture, and Tare Mang is basically saying Tara, my mother, I respect you in that sense. So Tare Mam is actually having that word Mang still, right? So Ma is mother, Abu is father, right? So Ma Abu, this is how it is used, right? Amabua, mother and father, Ma Abu. Now let's move on to the next level, which is if you have to say brother, for example, or if it's elder brother will be da zu, da zu. Notice the suffix zu here, which is respect, to give respect, right? Da zu, and you know that you're giving respect because he's elder to you, right? Da zu. The brother in a younger brother will be called kiza, kiza. And the more ancient form of kija is also kiza. There's a nasal sound in between. Kiza or kiza are the terms mentioned in our scriptures, in our old scriptures in Nepal Bhasha, which actually refer to what we these days say kiza, right? Younger brother. Now, if I have to say elder sister will be ta, right? Yet there is no respect. We'll come back to this later. Now, younger sister would be kehe, kehe, with an nasal at the end. Kehe, tata kehe. Elder sister, younger sister, right? Now, let's move on to son. To say son in Nepal Bhasha would be ka. It's a bit, you got to make it right when you're pronouncing this. I'm writing it as ka, ye, but you got to kind of diffuse it. You got to mix it in a very proper way, in a shorter form, which is ka, ye, but not that long. It'll be ka. So son will be ka, and we'll come back to this again. Daughter will be ma. So ma, ye, shortened in a very fluid form. You have to pronounce it ma, ka, ma, son, daughter. So daughter-in-law. In Nepal Bhasha, daughter-in-law is bhau. Okay, bhau is daughter-in-law, but also being quite loving towards your daughter-in-law, you would also add macha at the end. Macha for macha means son or daughter is child, right? So in that, to reflect that younger generation, you're adding this macha here for bhau. And daughter-in-law is also not just bhau. We can also call her more frequently bhau macha, bhau macha. or in shorter form, you must have heard this, bamza, right? Okay. Uh, when I was learning Nepalbhasa, I used to make a very big blunder. I used to replace bamza with bauza, because bau is daughter-in-law. Bau macha is also daughter-in-law. Bamza, but in shorter form, it will be bamza, right? But if you say bauza, that is cat, completely different. Right? Okay, so don't make that mistake that I did, right? So now if we move on to next level, maybe the grandchildren. So a grandchild would be che. Again, it is cha ye, half of ye, cha ye, but to make it, you got to pronounce it more quickly in a more fluid way, which is che, che, grandchildren, a grandchild, che. But also, if we look into ancient scriptures of Nepalbhasa, for example, I've been through Nepalbhasa scripture, which is from Nepal Sambat 883, where we get this mention of ka che, and that would mean che from the sun's side, would be ka che. Okay, uh, a grandchild from the sun's side would be ka che. Similarly, a grandchild from your daughter's side would be ma che. So che would be ka che and ma che, depending on whether the grandchild is from your son or from your daughter. Right now, similarly, great grandchild would be cui, 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 che, cui, grandchild, great grandchild. Right. Similarly, if we move on, let's move on to now a more extended form. If we think of uncles, now in English, uncle is uncle. Like so many relationships would be covered by the single term uncle. But in Nepalbhasa, uncle will have to differentiate in various different ways now. Uncle, for example, if he's your father's elder brother, then we call him the ba. The ba. Ba, as you know, is father. But because he is elder brother of your father, he would be taba. The ta sound refers to big. As we have covered in our last class, big is tadi, small is chiri, right? So tadiba, or also tadiba. Tadiba, di or ri can be interchanged. Tadiba in more older form, tariba in more recent form, is also now shortened to taba, father's elder brother. Now, similarly, father's younger brother would be, because chiri is small, so chiriba, chiriba, or chiriba. You can also say chirba, right? Very fluid. Or you could also call him kaka, like in Nepal, like in Khas Bhasa Nepali, kaka. In Nepalbhasa, we also call him kaka in more recent times, but he would be called chiriba or chiriba, would be also correct, right? Now, if the uncle is father's brother's wife, sorry, if your aunt would be, if your aunt is your father's brother's wife, how do you call her? The aunt who is father's brother's wife would be called Muazu or Mama. Mama is your father's brother's wife. This is a more ancient form. These days in Kathmandu, we also, have started calling her Muazu. So respect, adding zu, Muazu. You see this more frequently. We'll analyze this later again. We're giving respect to families who have connected to our family from the other family. So we are adding an additional level of respect, giving like zu, right? Adding a zu, Muazu. If you remember earlier, we had it for dazu, right? But more often in later terms, you will see if we have got new members of the family from the other families, like Muazu, wife of the father's brother, would be Moazu. We give her some more respect. Yeah. Now, again, next type of aunt would be if your aunt is your father's elder or younger sister. If your father's sister, she'll be called Nini, right? Nini is your father's sister. If your aunt is your mother's maternal side, if your aunt is a mother's elder sister, you call her Tama. Or, of course, the full form would be Tadhima, or a more deformed one would be Tarima. Or, if we also if you travel to more to the west, areas like Bandipur and Damoli, as I'm aware of, there they call they retain the form of Ma, which is ancient form of Man, and they call their mother's elder sister as Dhaman. Dha is the deformed form of Tadi, Da and Da, right? And Man is the old form of Ma. So Tadhima, which is now changed to Tarima in more Kathmandu dialect, or even Tama, has been retained as Tama, as Tadimang or Tarimang or even Taman in other dialects of Nepalbhasa. So these are all the same actually. I'm just giving you, making you aware of these different forms. Tama, Tatima, Tarima, Tarimang, Taman. Mother's elder sister. Right now, let's move to some like different kind of aunt. Maybe mother's younger sister would be, this now, it would be Chidima or Chidima. Okay, Chidma, even in a very short form, Chidma, Chidima or Chidima, smaller, younger sister of your mother. Now let's move on. Get back to maybe uncle. One more type. Mother's elder brother from the maternal side. If the uncle is the elder brother of your mother, you call him Baju, or even Bo. That's also correct. Yeah, and in use, Bo or Baju, mother's elder brother. But if the uncle is mother's younger brother, you call him not Bo or Baju, but Chidima Baju, younger Baju, right? Chidima Baju, right? Now, let's say we got to we got another form of one. Let's speak about one more type of aunt, which is maybe mother's brother's wife. Mother's brother's wife. The opposite of Baju would be Malju, Malju. Mother's elder brother is Baju. The wife of mother's elder brother would be Malju, right? Malju, or more ancient form, Maleju, full form, right? Malju is the short form, Maleju, or even just Malay, right? So now you see we're adding this Ju again, giving some extra respect, especially to people coming from different families, to our family, right? So mother's brother's wife would be Malju or Maleju or even Malay. Now, maybe one last form of our uncle. If the uncle happens to be the husband of your father's sister, so father's sister's husband, that type of uncle would be Jita Baju. Okay, father's sister's husband is Jita Baju. Or also outside Kathmandu, they also call Nini Baju. Okay, Jita Baju, the same as Nini Baju, which is the husband of Nini, right? Father sister's husband is Nini Baju. Father sister Nini, father sister's husband Nini Baju, or Jita Baju. Now let's. I think we're almost done different kinds of uncles and aunts, which were just two words in English, but so many in Nepalbhasa. Which is good. Like it's quite rich in language. That's what it shows. Like the variety, the content, the size, the number of words being more. It's the richness of the language. So we should appreciate it, and there's no harm in learning more words, which give us various different meanings. Right. Now let's move on to nephew. So nephew, the easier. Let's start with okay, nephew. If if the nephew is the son of, if you are a male, for example me, I'm a male, and my brother's son would be Kacha. Ka, which is son. Cha, we're adding a cha. Cha is, as I mentioned in earlier classes, cha is like smaller object, loved objects, like mata, mamata, everyone loves it, right? So cha is the ju is for respect. Cha, we show the love towards younger ones and smaller things, etc. So kacha is a brother's younger brothers, a brother to brother, brother to brother, son of brother to brother is kata. Also, if the nephew is the son of sister to sister, okay, if you are a female, your sister's son would be kata. If you're a male, your brother's son would be kata. Okay. Similarly, mhata for niece. If the niece is the daughter of a brother's brother, if you're a brother, your brother's daughter would be mata. Or if you are a sister, your sister's daughter would be mata. Okay, so brother to brother, son of brother to brother is kata, son of sister to sister is kata. The gender doesn't change here in 2 levels. But if and also the myacha, the niece is the daughter is brother to brother or sister to sister, then we call her myacha, right, for niece. But now, why does it change? What happens when the gender changes now in 2 levels? Now, if the nephew or niece is this, or if the nephew is the son of brother to sister, then such nieces would be binta. Such nephews will be binta. So both nephews and niece, if the son or daughter is from brother to sister, a brother's sister's son is binta, a brother's sister's daughter is binta. Similarly, sister to brother. If a sister's if the daughter is your son or daughter is from sister's brother, okay, sister's brother's son is bincha, or sister's brother's daughter is bincha. So bincha basically means the son and daughter of brother to sister or sister to brother. That if the gender changes in the 2 levels. Otherwise, there would be kata and mata, from brother to brother, sister to sister. But if the son and daughter is from brother to sister or sister to brother, bincha. You can also differentiate bincha as bincha baju and bincha mezu, if you like to differentiate them as nephew and niece as per gender. But bincha is fine. Okay. Now, have you realized? Okay, we've already reached almost 30 different relationships. This is the 29th one we're talking about. Husband. Husband in Nepalbhasa is bhata. Now, note this word. Note this term, bhata. This is going to come again and again later, because this is a key word to specify other relationships that come through your bhata, through your husband. Okay, so all those relationships that come from your husband side will have this keyword bhata, similar to in a deformed form. We'll see that soon. The 30th relationship is wife. Wife in Nepalbhasa is kala. We say wife and husband, kala bhata. Okay, kala. A more respectful word is also for kala is also tiri mezu. Mezu is mezu is miss or misses, right? And messes. So tiri mezu, a lady is mezu. Tiri mezu is wife, your lady, right? Let's go for mother-in-law. 32nd term here. Mother-in-law, wife's mother, right? Is sasa ma. Now let's look at this. Ma is mother, but your in-laws, relationship with your in-laws. Sasa is the in Nepal, in Khasbhasa Nepali, sasurali, right? That term is for the family of your home or family of your wife, right? So sasa khala in Nepalbhasa we say sasa khala, the family, the line of family of your wife. Sasa kala. Yeah. So wife's mother-in-law is sasa ma. Ma from your sasa kala. Sasa family is ma. Similarly, wife's father or father-in-law would be sasa. You know this now, sasa ba. Right. Again, if if you're now a female and you have to say mother-in-law now. That was me, right? But if you're a female and you have to say mother-in-law, which means husband's mother. Husband's mother is not generally called sasama, but now see, the wife has to give respect. That's pretty. That's not just like, not that rare, but this is how it is. At least it used to be. Okay. So husband's mother would be added that respect, which is Ju. So ma, of course, his mother. She's mother. Ma and Ju. Maju. The nasal sound added in between when you add these two terms. Maju. Yeah. Ma Ju. Maju. Maju. Again, father-in-law. If you're a female, then to say father-in-law, you'll have to just give some respect, man. Come on. No, just that joke. Husband's father would be Baju. Baju. Maju. Baju. Husband's mother, husband's father. Sasama, sasaba, wife's mother, wife's father. Yeah. And so on. Now let's go for 36th term of relationships, and which should be son-in-law. Let's say daughter's husband. Yeah, daughter's husband, son-in-law, is one common term for this. Jilazon. 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 Right. Now, similarly, if I have to say brother-in-law, okay. If I have to say brother-in-law, or let's say sister's husband, in general, brother-in-law is also same as son-in-law. Jilazon. Okay. For whether your sister is elder or younger, you can say Zilazon, which is the sister's husband in general, brother-in-law. Now, if the brother-in-law, if you have to, you can also differentiate between the Zilazons depending on your sister, whether your sister is elder or younger. So, brother-in-law who happens to be your elder sister's husband, you can call him Jita Dazu. Okay, Jita Dazu. Dazu for elder brother, as you know. So, Jita Dazu. Similarly, a younger sister's husband, that type of brother-in-law would be Jita Kiza. Jita Dazu, Jita Kiza is the husband of elder sister and younger sister. Okay, but a general term would be Jilazon for both. Okay, now if the brother-in-law, if you are a female, from female perspective, if you have a brother-in-law and of course he is the brother of your husband. So if the brother-in-law is your husband's elder brother, you call him Dazubata. Dazubata, right? But if your brother-in-law is the husband of your is the brother of your the younger brother of your husband, so younger brother of your husband, that type of brother-in-law would be Kizabata. So Dazubata, Kizabata, from the female perspective, from the wife's perspective. Yeah, Dazubata is husband's elder brother, Kizabata is husband's younger brother. Okay, now two more types of brother-in-law we've got still remaining here. Number 42, brother-in-law. If he's your wife's elder brother, right? Your wife, if you're a male, and your wife's elder brother would be Sasa Kiza, Sasa Dazu, elder brother, Sasa Dazu, but from Sasa Khala, from your wife's side, Sasa Dazu. Similarly, Sasa Kiza, brother-in-law, who happens to be your wife's younger brother, then Sasa Kiza, Sasa Dazu, Sasa Kiza, from your wife's brothers, elder and younger. Right? Similarly, let's go for sister-in-law. If the sister-in-law is your elder brother's wife, your elder brother's wife, such sister-in-laws would be Bibata. Okay, or these days we also call her Tataju. Give that respect, wife from a different family. Tataju or Bibata is elder brother's wife. Similarly, a sister-in-law who happens to be your younger brother's wife would be Bhau again, like daughter-in-law. Okay, Bhau or Bhaumacha or Bhamcha, right? Now, if you remember this, in Khasbasa Nepali, we have Bhauju. That Ju respect is there, and Bhauju. But Bhau in Nepalbhasa is sister-in-law, is younger brother's wife. After that, we still have a few more sister-in-laws here. There's a lineup of sister-in-laws actually. It's 46th term in Nepalbhasa relationships. Sister-in-law, if she is your husband's elder sister. Okay, if she's your husband's elder sister, you would call her Tata Bhata. Tata Bhata. Tata, your elder sister. Husband's elder sister would be Tata Bhata, from your Bhata, right? From your Bhata, if the sister, if the Tata is from your Bhata, then such sister-in-law is Tata Bhata. And similarly, if if the sister-in-law is your husband's younger sister, then such sister-in-laws would be Kehe Bhata. Younger sister is Kehe. If she is from your husband or Bhata, then she will be Kehe Bhata. Tata Bhata, Kehe Bhata. Elder and younger sister of your husband. Now, let's look at it from the husband's perspective, the male perspective. Sister-in-law from your wife, yeah. So, which now by now you know it is from your Sasa kala. So Sasa has to be the prefix, okay. And Tata and Kehe. Tata is the elder sister, Kehe is the younger sister. And if the sister-in-law is the elder sister of your wife, she will be Sasa Tata. If the sister-in-law is the younger sister of your wife, she will be Sasa Kehe. Sasa Tata, Sasa Kehe. From your wife, elder and younger sisters. Okay, still two more sister-in-laws left, and they will be the 50th relationship term in Nepalbhasa. Sister-in-law, if she is your wife's elder sister-in-law. See, your wife's sister-in-law are also your sister-in-laws. But if your wife has an elder sister-in-law, then such sister-in-laws for you would be, for her it was Pi Bhata, for you it would be Sasa Pi Bhata. Pi Bhata from your wife's side, right? Similarly, for your wife, younger sister-in-law for your wife had to be Bhau, right? Similarly, if the Bhau is from your wife's side, she will be Sasa Bhau, right? Okay, sister-in-law who happens to be your wife's younger sister-in-law, then such sister-in-laws are Sasa Bhau. So Sasa Pi Bhata, Sasa Bhau. Sister-in-laws, elder and younger, who are from your wife's side. Sasa, you add that prefix, right? Okay, so we've covered 50 different Nepalbhasa terms that specify different relationships within your family and extended families. And now let's go for the 52nd one, which is not specific to any relationship, but what do you call your family? We haven't covered this in all previous classes. A family in Nepalbhasa term would be, home is Chen, right? Chenja. Chenja is people in your family, people in your house, you know. So family, Chenja. Right. So now we've already covered more than 50 Nepalbhasa terms that specify different relationships. Now look at some of the commonalities, and let's make it half, just so that it is more memorable to us, so that we can remember looking at some of the common things. Now let's look at the common prefixes. For example, we know that we've added tadi and chidi, big and small, right? So tadi, we know that ma is mother, ba is father. Now tadima or tadiba means big father or big mother, who happen to be the elder brother of your father or elder sister of your mother, right? Now similarly, we added chidi prefix, chidima, making it chidima and chidiba or chidima or chidiba, right? They also called chama. Chidima or chiriba are the brothers and sisters of your father and mother, right? So after adding this tadi and chidi prefix, we also added a third prefix, which was sasa, if you remember. So all the relationships from your wife's side, and if you're a husband, if you're a male, then we've called, we've had a prefix which is sasa, like mother of your wife will be sasa ma, mother of your father of your wife will be sasa ba, and so on. The brother of your wife will be sasa dazu, elder brother, right? A younger brother of your wife would be sasa kiza, elder sister of your mother of your wife, elder sister of your wife would be sasa tata, younger sister of your wife would be sasa ken, and similarly sasa pi bhata, sasa bhau for the sister-in-laws, elder and younger from your wife's side. So sasa ma, sasa ba, sasa dazu, sasa kiza, sasa tata, sasa ken, sasa pi bhata, sasa bhau. You see, we've already had eight different relationships repeated here, just adding a prefix sasa, right, from your wife's side. Similarly, we added tadi and chiri and so on. Now let's look at the common suffixes. As I said earlier, all the relationships from your husband's side, most of the relationships from your husband's side, we are adding from your bhata's side, or husband's side, we are adding bhata at the end as suffix, right? So examples we had like some 5 examples, I think, 5 or more. 5 of them were dazu bhata, your husband's elder brother, husband's dazu was dazu bhata, husband's kiza or younger brother would be kiza bhata. Similarly, pi bhata, tata bhata, kien bhata, right? Husband's elder sister, younger sister, tata bhata, kien bhata. Right, so bhata suffixes, 5 of them. Dazu bhata, kiza bhata, pi bhata, tata bhata, kien bhata. Also, now look at the other thing that I discussed earlier, I just touched upon earlier, which is the suffix za, the loved one, younger generation, like bhinza, bhaumaza, right? Maza, gaza, 4 of them repeated. See, ga, gaza, maza. If they are from your brother or sister, bhinza, right? That's a new one, but added that za, right? Bhaumaza, added that za, showing that love to younger generation. And the last and the third type of suffix we added zu to give respect, and generally to people who got married and came from a different family to our family, and that extra respect, like muazu, tatazu, bazu. You got married as a wife, and you're giving respect to your husband's father-in-law, bazu, mother-in-law, mazu. Ma is your mother, mazu is your husband, right? Mazu. Similarly, paju, maleju, malju, right? These are ju suffixes. Some 6 of them we've already discussed. So you've got to see it like this. Like, these will help you remember. So if you're thinking of a relationship which is from your bhata or husband, you know that at the end it might be a suffix which is bhata suffix, dazu bhata, kiza bhata. Similarly, if they are from your wife's side, you know that you have to add a prefix generally which is sasa, right, from sasa family. So sasa ma, sasa ba, sasa king, sasa tata, and all that. Giving a bit of respect at the end, ju, giving some love at the end, za, and finding out whether the uncle and aunts are like elder or younger brothers or sisters of your mom and dad. You're adding tadi, chidi, and so on, right, to reflect elder and younger. So these are just quick observations on the 50 plus relationships that we covered today. I hope you enjoyed it. This was the 10th Nepalbhasa class by Pasapasa UK London. And myself, Sanyukta Shrestha, President of Pasapasa UK London, would like to express deep respect and gratitude for being with us until this far, the 10th lecture. Definitely look forward for more, and we'd like to bring, we will try our best to bring more interesting and informative and educative kind of classes on Nepalbhasa and how to learn it, right? We just don't want kind of learners who just like to speak Nepalbhasa quickly, but we also like learners who would actually try and contribute to this language by not just speaking, definitely by speaking firstly, but also trying to go to the depth of the language and trying to understand, because unless and until you understand the meanings of the words, you haven't felt the words, you haven't made the language yours, and it is in a way the best way. Understanding something is the best way to learn anything, because that is going to be with you for much longer. That's what I personally believe. So let's continue this in the coming weeks. In the next lecture, we will do some interaction. It'll be an interactive class based on the basic theory that we covered today. Thank you very much.